Welcome to the KickBack FC. Thank you for joining us once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Welcome back to the KickBack FC, your go-to spot for real talk, all things soccer. Here we've got it all. We're breaking down the biggest moments, hottest takes, and everything you need to stay plugged into the world's game. And we'll even tap into some other sports from time to time because if it's big in sports, we've got thoughts on it. Whether this is your first time tuning in or you've been rocking with us from the jump, again, thank you to all of our friends and supporters. Once again, my name is Cornelius. I'm joined by my boys and fellow co-hosts. Do Rag Man, Salam, how you feeling?
I'm feeling like 3 points. I'm feeling like Adama. You know, Mike, how you feeling?
Hey man, I'm feeling like 3 points, just like you said. No, I'm feeling great, man. Can't complain. How about you, Gabriel?
I feel good, man. Hey, it's just like y'all, man. Three-point holders. It should be a good week, all of us holding 3 points. So, Cornelius, how you feeling?
I feel like 3 points, man. Just 3 points all around this week. It's always a good week when we all, come into with a win from the past weekend. Shout out to the Crunch, who also got a win here just a few hours ago, making their undefeated record still stand this season. I wasn't even going to start this way, but Gabriel, you want to talk a little bit about the Crunch game and, just coming off another home win?
Yeah, crowd always shows love. They definitely came out and supported, which was really always amazing. But yeah, I just feel like we got business handled. I feel like our first half was definitely better than our second half, and we kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit. I would say in the fourth quarter, and they were able to, score some goals on us in transition. But I think overall, we played well. We had a lot of new faces in the lineup this week, which was really, really good to see. It was really nice. Shout out to our striker Jamin. He was the man of the match. It was his debut today. Had a hat trick and 2 assists. So I just, it just goes to show like the quality and how deep of a team we have. This is a guy who's 6 matches in is getting his first run and his first his first match, and he put in a hat trick today. So I just think it goes to show how deep of a team that we have, how good of a team that we have, and we're able to get a good result today. And I think it was the perfect result that we needed going into an extremely tough match in hostile territory in Canada next week. So yeah, it was good, man. It was definitely good. It was International Heritage Week too, so a lot of countries are represented. They showed love to a lot of countries. Of course, my mother had the Liberian flag out there. But yeah, no, this week was good. I'm happy that we got the good result, and really just looking to kind of rest and get ready for a tough week in Toronto.
I'm a little biased, but how's the team feeling about an undefeated regular season? I think so far from what I've seen, you guys are head and shoulders above every other team, in my opinion. You guys are better than all these other guys.
Yeah, obviously the goal is to stay undefeated. I would love to have a perfect season and win the title that way. Is it going to happen that way? Only time will tell. But yeah, I think great to have this record right now, but I think we have our biggest test of the season, and this game upcoming is going to be one of those games that's going to determine how things play out, when playoff time comes. This is probably the biggest match in the MLIS season this year so far. 2 undefeated teams in the same conference. This is going to have a lot to do with seeding, who will be that number 1 spot, who will be the 2 spot. That stuff will matter, later down the line. So, yeah, obviously there are seasons that we've been undefeated in the regular season. There have been seasons that we've, dropped games. So, it is what it is. I just think we're taking it, just week by week, and the ultimate goal is to make it to Vegas come end of March and then let things play out as they may. But
and where's the game? Where's the game?
The game's in Toronto this week, so
okay.
we'll be going up to Canada. And yeah, man, looking to just get the job done and just to solidify. I mean, we're number one right now in our division, and just looking to solidify that even more next week. So, yeah.
All right.
Great analysis on the crunch game, Gabriel, and on the season. Both what you've done in the past, but also are looking to do as the season continues. So, before we get into our teams, because we do want to hop straight into the Premier League, it's been a big week in the Premier League. I do want to just touch on some topics just around the soccer world that happened in this past week. So, it's been shown that Sergio Ramos is going to potentially buy Sevilla. He signed a preliminary agreement. He joined the club originally in 1996 and then returned in 2023 to kind of just do one last turnaround. How do y'all feel about Sergio Ramos buying Sevilla? He's going to be another one of those young owners. We've seen Beckham, obviously, with Inter Miami. We've seen some consortiums and some groups buy clubs. In the past, we know that Como is bought by a lot of former players, including Thierry Henry. So what do we think about Sevilla and Sergio Ramos?
I mean, I think I'm always for players owning clubs, because I think they'll always have the club's best interests at heart. And then also, I don't know if that's his boyhood club. It's his boyhood club. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's amazing. Like I said, I think, we've seen so many situations where owners come in and they, just look at it as a money scheme, or, they don't always have the club's best interest at heart. And, Sergio Ramos, obviously, that being his boyhood club, him having the illustrious career that he's had, I think this is it's really like a storybook kind of ending to go and now be a part owner of, your childhood club, and to have a say in how things are run, how players are brought in, who's sold, who's not. I think that's major. And I think, I hope that other players will, follow suit, when they're done playing in their careers, hopefully take a step to own maybe not their boyhood club, but another club, and just continue to pour into the youth and to make, whatever club that you support, just, to continue that legacy and that greatness. So I love it. I'm super happy for him, and I'm sure he'll take that same mentality he took on the field to ownership. So I'm happy for him, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, just like Gabriel, I'm also happy for him. Sadly enough, though, I feel like it's not talked about enough. Sevilla in the last, I'll say 2 to 4 years, they haven't been very good.
Yeah,
they've been struggling really bad as a club, and for a guy like Sergio Ramos to step in and in the ownership part of the club, it's great to see, man. It also tells me we're getting old, guys.
yeah.
Like the guys we were watching are now owning clubs. We're getting old, but overall, like Gabriel said, man, it's great to see, man. It's actually great to see, and hopefully he brings that same tenacity from his playing days to ownership. But yeah, man, I hope he can turn around what's been going on at Sevilla the last couple of years. But I think this is great news.
Yeah, I don't think like it'll have the same like direct effect, but I'm not trying to like segue to United right now, but similar to how, like Carrick just looks so composed on the sidelines because he's been there and he understands and he knows it, and I feel like that'll, in a sense, in its own way, kind of be with, Sergio Ramos, where it's like, boys, like I get it, I understand it, I've been here, I've done it at the highest level, and this is kind of how you have to move to get the results that you need to get. So, like I said, like Mike, you've been right. I feel like since they lost Rakitic and some of their older guys, they haven't really replaced or found, the players to keep that standard and that level. And they have been struggling. They almost got relegated a season as well. So I think maybe last year or 2 years ago. So, I think, like I said, man, I think this is great for the club, and I think it's only up for them from here, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I agree. I think also too, in the sense of just guys like Sergio Ramos, his class of people, they really benefited from having the majority of their career like televised, taped on social media. So, from a recruitment standpoint, a lot of these kids are going to obviously be, more likely to go to a club that's ran by someone like him, someone who's proved it on the highest level as a player, and obviously, kind of like what Deion Sanders is doing here in the United States. So I think on all fronts, man, it's a win. And you're right, Mike. I mean, shit, bro. Like we I feel like it doesn't seem like that long ago, but shit. I mean, 2016 was 10 years ago. I think that was when they were winning Champions League three-peats, and here we are now. But no, yeah, I don't think this move hurts them. I think it only helps them.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I agree. This was really, inspiring to see, and I just wanted to bring it up to y'all because I didn't know if y'all had seen that. But also in Europe, something really interesting I saw this week. So in the Swiss league, newly promoted club FC Thun is now 9 points clear at the top. They've never won a major trophy in their 127-year history, but last week they beat Young Boys 4-1 at home, and then this week a big 2-1 win against Basel away.
Wait. Hold on. Newly promoted,
Newly promoted,
sitting on top of the table.
9 points right now. On top of the
That's
Swiss league.
wild. That's
Yeah,
wild.
man, it's crazy. Never won a major trophy in their 127-year history, but
Wow.
with major back-to-back wins, like I said, the Young Boys last week they won 4-1 at home. This week 2-1 against FC Basel away. This team is kind of Cinderella
Honestly,
run is crazy. This is one of those Leicester like
What? Yeah,
what
this
is
is. I
going on
don't
type
think we've
of-
seen this before.
honestly, I think it's crazier than Leicester because I feel like Leicester still was like they were still flying second, third before
Yeah.
they jumped to
Mhm.
one. Like they're 9 points clear in January, bro. This
It's
might be one of those
crazy.
This
Yeah.
like and honestly, after they just Young Boys and Basel. I mean, these are teams that compete in the Champions League, Europa League.
Yeah, the top two.
and
Yeah,
and you
in this
beat them
group.
4-1 and 2-1 in back-to-back weeks. Like these two wins might propel them to the championship. Honestly, like
Yeah.
just because they found like they realized that they could do it and they did it. And like a problem. I mean, 4-1 is a 4-1. However you want to draw it up, that's a smacking around. And then I mean 2-1. That's a good result as well. So I think that's crazy. I didn't even know that, but yeah, these two wins might propel them to the. They feel like they're flying. No one can touch them right now. They're
That's
like, if we can just
crazy.
keep doing what we're doing, we'll continue to get
We-
results.
We
That's
definitely need updates on this story every
Yeah.
week.
Wow.
This
Yeah,
this is a
I'm
crazy story.
gonna keep
9
updating. I
points.
actually saw it last week Sunday, and I forgot to talk about it. And then I looked at who they beat this week, and they beat Basel 2-1. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
all right, so they're serious.
That team's gonna get
Not
picked
this.
apart after this year, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to start looking at that manager. That
Yeah,
there's
who's
a
good?
shortage of young, good managers here in Europe, and you got someone doing a madness over in Switzerland. So
That's
just
crazy.
something that I saw last week, and I was like, nah, I got to bring this up, especially this week after they got another big result. But bringing it over to the U.S. before we get into our teams, it's announced that Sam Goldberg is to be named the New York Red Bulls' new director of soccer. 28-year-old will be responsible for transfer strategy,
Wow.
salary cap, scouting, and data teams. He joined Red Bulls in 2021 and was previously the head of player personnel. This was just cool to see because, I mean, this is a 28-year-old who's now at one of the highest positions in the New York Red Bull organization, director. So this just goes to show, if you really put your head down, you work, you grind. It said he joined Red Bulls in 2021, 5 years ago, probably like straight out of
Wow.
college or maybe his second job out of college.
Only
And,
28 too.
Yeah, 5 years later, here he is as director of soccer at the New York Red Bulls. So
That's crazy, though.
I think it's interesting and it's good for these young teams to kind of, or these MLS teams to kind of go with these young guys, because clearly this guy's been here for 5 years. He knows the culture. He must be a smart guy. I don't know much about him, but the fact that he's getting this role means that there is a chance for those out there that if you smart, you put your head down, you love soccer, you don't just necessarily have to be on the pitch to make an impact on the club. So this
Yeah.
was inspiring and just good news to see.
Yeah. No, that's impressive, man. 28 years old. I mean, speaking of that, shout out to our boy Alex V.
Mhm.
I love seeing people like, close friends, people our age in positions that, you never even like thought was possible. I love seeing stuff like that. So it's like this is awesome news, man. That's hopefully, man. I feel like after this World Cup, there's going to be a whole lot of new young fans. So they might be onto something with this position higher.
Yeah, they got a new young coach in Michael Bradley too. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all for giving young people an opportunity. I mean, I think that this is gonna serve as a big test. I feel like not saying that he's representing all the young guys, but I mean, to get a job like this and you're not even 30 years old, this is
Yeah.
kind of unorthodox or not traditional from the way that things used to be done throughout the landscape of U.S. soccer. So I hope he does well. New York is rebuilding. They just signed Ethan Horvath, the goalkeeper
Okay.
from Europe as well too. So I mean, like,
Horvath.
they're
Isn't he the U.S. number one?
No, he's not the number one right now. People are saying the number
Okay.
one is Matt Freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where was Horvath at?
I thought he was somewhere in the championship. I don't know where, but I thought he was somewhere.
Yeah, I've
not the
never
cha-
seen it.
somewhere in
Yeah.
England.
Can't remember.
I don't know.
Isn't it with Lampard? Where's Lampard at? I
Coventry.
forgot.
Coventry.
I thought he was at Coventry, but I might be wrong.
Mm.
Anyways, go ahead.
No,
He
but no,
was,
I was letting y'all rock. But no,
Sheffield
yeah,
Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield,
Okay.
yeah.
I knew he was in the championship.
no, but like I said, yeah, that's just big. Like just to piggyback off what Salam said again, that's massive that we're giving these young guys a chance, and we'll we'll be seeing what New York did over there because Michael Bradley, newly appointed, this guy Goldberg, newly appointed. So this is going to be big for that club. We'll definitely be keeping track as the MLS starts here for February 21st. So 3 weeks we'll be seeing their first match and see what they're cooking over there in New York.
Yeah, don't forget the black coaches because I know you guys don't got that rule anymore. But hey,
Yeah.
Facts.
we're still here.
Nah, man, that was just some quick news, just some quick tidbits from this week that I saw. But let's get into our teams. Like I said earlier, we all won this past weekend, so this is one of the more light episodes. I know a few weeks ago it got a little testy up in here because some people dropped points when other people were chasing them. But this week that wasn't the case. But we could just go in chronological order of the matches since we all won this week.
Yes, let's start with the boys on the top.
Yeah, let's start with Arsenal, man. Big 4-0 win against Leeds. I think this was massive for them just because, like I said, they dropped points recently in places that they know that they probably shouldn't have dropped points in, and you have to make a big, strong statement when. I think Gabriel said that last week. Zubamendi, Madueke, Gyökeres, and Jesus all got goals. Big for all four of them to get this confidence booster. Gyökeres hasn't been looking that terrible as of late, but I think he needs to get going if you want him. If you truly want to win the league, I think you need your 9 to be 9. But with Jesus scoring as well, Kai Havertz is back now as well. So I feel like this was a big win for everyone who got the goals they needed them. But this is what champions need to do when the people on your tail are dropping points. Even though you didn't know that was going to happen, you have to take care of business, especially with these teams that are lower on the table. But your overall thoughts on the match, G?
Yeah, I want to start off by saying it's sad that we lost Saka. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I don't know what the injury is, if I'm being completely honest. But it doesn't look good. So the that's a huge loss for us. But the way that we reacted away from home from losing one of our captains, honestly, he was going to wear the armband if because Odegaard didn't start. The way that we responded to that was very, very good. I think that we just really handled business. I think having Kai Havertz back is immense for us. I don't even know how to explain it. Within 19 minutes, he had a goal and an assist. I can't even explain the impact. So yeah, I just think we're finally getting most of our guys back. Obviously, Saka went down, but Madueke looked great. They credit him with a goal and an assist as well. They gave him instead of the own goal, they gave him the goal off the corner. But I think this is when another player goes down and our team is deep enough where the next guy has to step up. And to see Madueke have a performance like that, after just not expecting to start and getting thrown in was definitely it feels promising. And I'm definitely happy to see that. And yeah, Gyökeres getting his goal. I know there are other opportunities that he should have scored as well, but you still got us one. That's what we need from you. Jesus coming in as well can continue to provide value for us. He's been on a kind of a crazy hot, streak as well, and Martinelli as well. I have to credit Martinelli. This is a guy that we were like, bro, sell him as soon as Jerry comes, sell him. And since then, a lot of talk, a lot of noise, but he's been getting the job done, assists and goals, especially in the Champions League. He's been coming off the bench and providing good minutes for us. So, yeah, no, I think we did exactly what we needed to do this weekend. We got 3 points. We kept the clean sheet, which was one of the most important things that we needed to do was keep a clean sheet. I don't know the last time we really have. Maybe a month ago or a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, and it's funny, Cornelius, you said things got tense in here. I just want the criticism to be as loud this week as it was when Arsenal dropped points, because if you look at these other teams, City dropped points to Spurs. Spurs is City's kryptonite. For whatever reason, they can always manage to get a result against them. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's even Thomas Frank with this terrible run, he's able to grab points off City. So that's wild. But also, Aston Villa lost to Brentford today at home, and Brentford went down a man after 50 minutes. So
yeah,
I do when I'm glad I went first, because obviously my team did well. Obviously we got the 3 points that we needed, and I knew we are going to get 6 points from this week. We took care of business in Kairat, against Kairat in the Champions League. But as we continue to talk about these teams, I know everybody got wins today, so we're going to keep the energy positive. But I just want I want the same criticism as Arsenal got against City and against Villa today, because City was up 2-0.
Yeah,
and Villa was at home.
Yeah, bro, they don't.
No. So I will listen. Y'all can talk about my team. Y'all can talk about your team. Y'all can please. We'll get into all of our team, but I just want to say over the course of the conversation, I want the noise to be just as loud, because everyone likes to talk about Arsenal. It will. Okay. That's all I gotta say. We can keep the Arsenal focus, but yeah, no. I just want to say that. But no, like I said, our team did well this week. A solid 3 points, exactly what we needed going to a midweek match against Chelsea at home. We have to get a result there. We have to get to this final. And I think that, again, that'll propel us into the weekend to play Sunderland at home. So yeah,
I just have one question, man. Just one question.
Hey, guys,
so Eze, I know his playing time has been a little iffy for me to understand. I don't know what Arteta's plan is. I know you're not in the back room to know what Arteta's plan is, but my thing is, Eze, okay, what needs to happen for us to see Eze more, in your opinion, as an Arsenal fan? Do you think for you to win the league and any other, trophy, do you think Eze will have to be a big part of it? Because I don't know. I don't know why my man is not seeing the pitch, man.
I mean, I would say that word this without sounding crazy. I would say that if we were talking 3 weeks ago, I would say no. He doesn't need to be one of the main parts because we've had main parts before we got him, you know? So, and if we're being honest, we had other players in his position already, like our captain's in his position, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't necessarily say that we needed him to propel us over or get over the finish line. But what I would say is that with these injuries that we just had, Saka goes down. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I haven't done my research on the injury. I had my own game today, so but you know, there's obviously an opening on that side. Matt Wakey will be there, but you're gonna have to be available just in case we need you there. And also, Mikel Moreno might be out for the season. He has an injury in his broken foot. He has a broken foot, like a bone in his foot that's broken. So that's another guy that is in our midfield, also helps out in the 9 position. But Eze will now have to step up a lot more, and he'll have to. We'll see him play more minutes than we have in the past, just because 2 guys have now gone down. So, do I think he's at that point now? Like, yeah. But I don't think I don't think Arteta's the coach to just. There are very few players that are just going to come in and just off the jump just start.
But why not Eze though? I personally feel like
because our captain is in his position. Our captain is in his position. That's one of the main reasons. If I'm being honest, his captain is in his position, and
that's fair.
Honestly, and with Kai Havertz coming back, bro, like Kai Havertz kind of in attack are running. Kai Havertz is playing the 10 where he's already been comfortable playing, but then defensively we're in this 4-4-2 with pressing Merchants and Kai Havertz and Gyökeres. Like what I saw from them 2 midweek during the weekend, I was like, wow, like this actually looks really good, and
yeah,
it adds a whole different dynamic. So I'm not saying that Eze won't get time. I just think it might take it's not him coming in was not as clear cut of a start as Semenyo going to City. You know, like some of these guys making transfers, like Gahey going to
interesting point.
Like I just don't his transfer.
Explain that more for people that might not know what you're trying to say.
So
explain that a little further.
So I would say that Eze, while he's an amazing player, like I love Eze. Let's not even get this twisted. Like I love Eze as a player. I think he's amazing. He's beaten. He won 2 trophies for Crystal Palace before he left.
Yeah,
yeah. So amazing player. Love him as a player. But him coming in wasn't as dire need of a start in his position than other players transferring other places needed to be. Like Mark Gahey going into City, they desperately needed a center back, or else they're not in this race at all. Let's be real. When I say Semenyo going to City, I'm not gonna lie, they needed another winger. They needed
they did.
They needed, like, it was a necessity. You know what I mean? And I just feel like as coming to Arsenal, we needed to bolster the squad with quality players coming off the bench that we know can give us 8 or 9 out of 10 performances on any given day. But was it a necessity for him to start immediately? No, not necessarily. Like Odegaard plays there. You know, Kai Havertz has been here 2 years. He can play there. You know what I mean? So Moreno's played in that position. He's been here 2 years. So yes, it's a tricky situation, but at the same time, like, I feel like in certain matches we need Eze quick, like he needs to start, but there's no real need to rush him. If we're being honest, like he's going to get integrated, he's going to be fine regardless. Like, bro, at this point we have like when City was at their peak, we would see De Bruyne on the bench sometimes. You know, we would see Bernardo Silva on the bench sometimes. You know, while Phil Foden gets a run and this guy gets a run and that guy gets a run. So we're at that point now where City's trying to, and I feel like City in a sense is trying to catch up to our squad depth. Like I feel like we are the deepest team, like low key in the world. I'm not even gonna hold you. Maybe Bayern,
healthy,
but healthy, like you know, we can. There are guys that are not gonna make the squad the squad that weekend that could walk into many team starting lineups. You know, that's just the depth of our squad. So it wasn't a necessity. So to answer your question, man, I think Eze will be just fine. It might just because our captain is in his position, it might take him a little bit longer to integrate because we probably won't play him on the wing that much. But also, I think after this season, guys are going to get sold, bro. If we're being honest, and I think we're going to see a new team. Like, guys are getting sold. If you think our team is staying exactly the same or just adding, like, no, guys are getting sold. So, you know, we'll see. But I'm not worried about Eze at all. It'll be good.
Good place to end on Arsenal with the Eze talk, you know, because I feel like that's a big question that soccer fans around the world have right now. Like, why isn't he playing? You know, we see him get runs in the other competitions, but specifically in the Prem, he's not getting those minutes. So that's a good assessment. I feel like we will see a new Arsenal team as well, Gabriel. That's good foresight.
But sorry, well, the last thing I'll say on that is, like, at the same time, our team is so deep that we low-key need him to sometimes just run our second unit. Like, that's like in the sense of things, like, okay, we're gonna play Odegaard at the 10. We're used to him, we're used to the way he plays, and then we're used to that. We're gonna play that weekly. But then when it comes Champions League, we can rotate the squad a little bit. This guy might have a knock, that guy might have a knock. So then we have an $70-80 million midfielder who is quality and proven that can step into that role and help lead the second group in a sense, you know, even though I don't feel like
that's fair. That's fair.
It's the rotation of the squad. So, like I said, I really don't think he's being mismanaged. Obviously everyone's going to talk about it, but I really don't think he's being mismanaged.
Good talk with Arsenal there. Still in first place. Again, getting that gap up to 7 points. Chelsea versus West Ham, another London derby, was played on the same day, Saturday, right after that. Mike, I'm gonna let you take a lot of this, but you know, something stood out to me about this win because there have been few times that we've lost at home this year. Round 18, we lost at home 2-1 to Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins had a brace. He scored in the 84th minute there. And then we also lost earlier this year. And what I realized is that, well, I've said this multiple times on the podcast, and I've said it multiple times in the group. Chelsea's susceptible in the last 5 minutes of any match to score. So when we were able to come from behind to get the 3-2 win, I wasn't 100% like this game is ours. Even though in the group chat I was texting we're going to win today, after we scored that third, I wasn't 100% sure in my heart of hearts that we would win because, you know,
that's fair.
We're susceptible to get scored on. It's clear. It's been proven time and time again. So for Chelsea, what this showed me is that, you know, we can come from behind and win, something that we haven't done at home this year a lot. It showed me that, you know, this Rossinier ball, for better or for worse, is working. You know, we are again leaky in the back, as we've been over the last 2 years. Even with Enzo, he wasn't able to fix that part of our game, but we're able to come from behind and get the dub, which I haven't seen us do a lot this season, so that's inspiring. But Mike, your thoughts on the game? And besides the Arsenal, we're 5 in our last 5. So how do you feel about Rossinier's stint after you talk about the game? Because I wasn't able to ask you last week.
Yeah, if you about it 2 weeks ago, I said that this team just needs results. At this point in the season, like you've been saying, the ownership have told us this season is a wash. They were willing to go to the extent of firing the manager that has won us 2 trophies in the last 18 months and assigning a new guy. So they're telling us we truly don't care about the results of the end of the season. I mean, this is what they're telling us. I might be wrong, but still. Um, I'm just looking for results. I'm not looking for how we look, the style of play. I don't care about that right now at this point in the season. This is match week 24 in the Premier League. That tells you we have just 14, maybe 14 games. Yeah, we have about just 14 games left. We're not at the point of the season where you're hopeful that the style of play is going to change and it's going to look pretty and what does Yasser call it? Champagne football.
Yeah.
It's going to look pretty. But I don't care about that right now. Just give me the results. And this past game against West Ham was a perfect example. First half was absolutely horrible. I understand. He started with a lineup thinking, I can rotate. I have Arsenal coming up in midweek. I want to rest some of my main guys. I understand. But some of these guys that you started, hey, let me tell you, if you haven't heard, he's not called by their shield, he's called by their shit. Like he's gonna show you eventually who he really is. Like, I'm sorry, he's not who you think he is. Like he's just not that guy. So I understand some of the rotation he made, some of the guys he wanted to play, but these guys are just not as good as we think they are. Garnacho, I'm sorry, he's a great player coming off the bench. He's literally your prototypical player that has to come off the bench, because when Garnacho comes off the bench, by the time he comes off the bench, the defenders he's going to go at, guess what? They're tired. He's literally the prototypical player that has to come off the bench. When he comes off the bench, they're tired. You can go at them.
He's not a starter.
He's just not a starter. I'm sorry. I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
It's crazy.
I've seen enough. He showed us in this past game. I've seen enough. He's just not a starter. But I understand the rotation. When we got the main guys in, we saw how different we looked. This result tells me that he's getting to the guys. It's telling me that there's something that he's saying to these guys that they're actually listening to. Because second half we look completely different. It was just a completely different game. Going into Arsenal, I feel confident. I like what this guy has given us in the last 6 games. 5 wins in 6 games. We lost an Arsenal game that it's still the best team in the world, arguably, if you want to go that far. But still, we were able to come back and get the win, back-to-back games. Did that at Napoli, and then we did that at home. But let's get to the point where we're not having to fall back and then having to come back to win the game. And I've been saying, I understand the circumstances from this game. I completely understand. But the Napoli game, I have a lot of questions about that. Like, hey, did we have to go down 2-1 for us to come back and win the game? We didn't have to. But it is what it is. We came out with the win. But most importantly, I like where he has us. I think he's getting through to the guys, because the last 2 games we came back from being down, 1 goal. We've been down 2-1 at Napoli and 2-0 here at home. So I'm confident in what he's doing. I love what he's doing. I think we might be onto something in this new guy. I like the fact that he's young and he speaks well. He comes across very articulate. He knows what he wants. So hopefully he's getting through to them. That's the most important thing, man. Hopefully he's getting through to them. But yeah, this one tells me that he's doing something right.
I like LR, man. I'm telling you, bro. LR cool. Like I said, he's like he seems just like a cool manager that people will get along with. Yeah, so I like LR, man.
Man, let's talk about the real match though. Adama versus
João Pedro.
João Pedro, man. I don't know. He lost I don't know. I've never been to the favelas, but they said we don't claim him, man. We don't claim him.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Shout out Adama.
He went to his hood. They said they ain't know.
Yeah, no. Shout out Adama, man. I did think Todibo was a little kind of out of pocket though. That was just a little extra though. It just
You know what? I don't mind these fights, man. We're one of the youngest. We're one of the youngest teams in Europe. I know we've been beat down a lot since change of ownership and that whole sanction situation. I know a lot of teams saw us how vulnerable we were and took advantage of us. We've been taken advantage of a lot. So I love the fact that these boys are starting fights and standing up for themselves. I love it. Keep it up. Just don't be fucking stupid with these red cards. But I love the fight. Keep it up.
No, Mike, that's a great point. We can end it right here because when you think about, the last time that Chelsea had kind of like this overhaul like this, it was a different group of players, a different crop of players. Some of the guys were here, but some of them weren't, and they were really young. 18 months ago, or call it 18 months plus, because the issues started before that, before Maresca was appointed. But when you think of this crop of players, they've gone through battle with each other for the last 18 months or 2 years. They've gone and won trophies together. We're still one of the younger teams in the league, but this team got some pedigree, and they hear the talk. Obviously, these guys are on social media, so they know what people are saying behind their backs. Oh, Chelsea, we're going to do it again. They're going to go in a slump. And like you said, I think Liam, he's put a battery in these guys' back. He's put a little bit of the battery in these guys' back because, like Salam said, you guys just always want to fight, man. Like, y'all never want to fight on the pitch, but it's like, nah, we're fighting on the pitch too. Like, we're coming from behind and we're winning games. We're going and we're smashing teams when we're supposed to smash them. I'll take a win like this, even with the ups and downs in my heart rate. I'll take a win like this because it shows me that we're fighting back. So I'm happy with, the way that we've been set up. And like Mike said, these games aren't always going to be pretty. It's going to be a lot of ugly matches. But if we can get results through the rest of the season, we're fighting with United right now for top 4. So that's exactly where I want to be, right in and around top 4. And, just to segue into, the feeling, like where seniors giving us the feeling, Michael Carrick, man,
MC.
it just feels like he's just back home, like just being on the sideline. It's a different, he's not wearing cleats anymore. He wrapped them up for maybe some Tom Fords or some Cole Hans, who knows what he likes to wear, but he just feels comfortable there. Whether he goes up, whether he goes down, he kind of stays relaxed. He kind of stays with that solemn face. You can't really tell what he's thinking too much. But when he gets excited, something big happened. Like you guys got a game winner, or you guys get a Dorgu bar down banger. You really see him get excited when he feels like he should get excited. And I think right now, like we said, with Ruben Amorim, through all the ups and downs, you guys are still in 4th place. And so, as you look forward with, the rest of the season with Carrick, I know it's too early to make any appointments, but I want to know, like, what you truly think the difference is in this team, because I know you could say formation, but I don't know if it's necessarily that, unless you think it's formation. But what do you think is the biggest difference, since Carrick's been here?
I think it really boils down to putting the players in the best position to succeed. I've said this many times. Mike has said this when we did our predictions episode to start the season. We have good players. The reason why we started off the way we started off the season was because of the way the former manager wanted to play, and trying to pigeonhole some of these guys into, his system instead of just, trying to create a system that, enables the players to do well. So I think that's really the biggest thing, because these are the same players. But I said after last week, bro, when we did our predictions, I think this Fulham game is really going to tell us a lot about this team. Obviously, like the Arsenal game, the City game, those are games where we're going into it with really nothing to lose. We're going to be up for those games. But, to go back home, and, the pressure to win when you're expected to win. I felt like that was one of the things I was looking forward to the most. But I thought the goal from Kevin was humbling. I think that definitely shows that we're capable of getting
Humbling.
scored on for nothing. Yeah, I mean it is humbling, and I say humbling. And I say humbling because what do you do about that? Like,
Banger.
I mean, I guess close down space. Don't let him shoot, and we won't be in that position. But, I thought Maguire, the tackle was poor in my opinion. I feel like if you're gonna go in for a tackle like that, you have to make sure you're going to win. And he was beat. Lamens had it covered. He even made the save, but Maguire ended up getting him, and then obviously we gave up the penalty. But no, bro, I think it was a great team performance. I thought a lot of guys played well. I think Lissandro continues to play well. Ahmad put in a shift today. I mean, Kobe Mainu. Yeah, it's so funny, bro, because Ruben Amorim was saying that Kobe Mainu can't cover the pitch as well as Bruno can. Kobe Mainu can't win the midfield battles like Casemiro can. He's not physical enough. He can't cover space. This and that. I thought in all 3 games he's had complete performances and shown why people have been calling for him to play. But shout out to him, bro. Bruno, I felt like Bruno, the past 3 games, Bruno has been, where I need him to be. The captain, the leader. I thought he was exceptional on the 3rd goal to get the goal to Sesko. I mean, that's 17 goal involvements now in 21 games. I mean, that's 12 assists on the season. I know we're not in a position to where, at least I don't really consider players that are not in the top 3 for player of the season. But, if we have more points, and I don't know who's on the contender list for player of the season, but Bruno's definitely on there. I'm not saying he has to win it. I know Haaland has like 20 goals and whatever, and a lot of people are playing well this season, but he's having an exceptional season. Casemiro, man. I don't know if you guys remember, but me and Yasser put in a bet over Casemiro and another former midfielder that played for one of our teams. Currently doesn't play for our team anymore. We talked about. You guys remember? You're in the group text. You guys remember? We talked about how over the course of 4 years, we're going to see how it plays out for both of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't know.
Goal and assist today. As soon as he came off, and it's always the case. As soon as he came off, and when Ugarte came on, we conceded. Bro, this guy has been huge for us. So.
Yeah,
I mean, great team performance, bro. I was actually talking to my boy Comey during the game, and when we conceded the second goal and it was 2-2, I told him, bro, like I don't feel as if we're gonna lose this game. Cornelius, you said that during the Chelsea game, and I was like, bro, like there's 6 minutes left. I feel like we're gonna get something out of this, and we did.
Y'all scored right after, like
Mm-hmm.
right after.
We're literally right after. It was so bad on their part too. I was looking at Fulham like, bro, what are you guys doing? You guys gave Sesko. Like, he was the guy who was on the PK spot. Essentially, it was like he's not gonna miss from there.
They let him touch and turn essentially, and it's just
it was bad, man. But no, kudos to you guys, man. When Kevin scored, I was like, wow, are they gonna lose? Because honestly, when Fulham scored, I was like, wow, they might go get another goal. I was like, they truly might go get one. And the fact that you guys came back immediately with it just shows, man, Carrick's doing this thing. Carrick's definitely doing this thing. And who knows?
It's tough. And I just want to say, United fans, be realistic, because what Carrick is doing right now, I just feel bad for him in terms of expectations, right? I mean, these 3 games, talk about setting the bar high. He's really setting the bar high. That I want United fans to be realistic when that loss comes, or whenever the good performance doesn't happen. Like it's gonna happen. Like be looking forward to that. It's gonna happen.
Wait,
But-
so hold on. But Salam, do you if okay, let's say Carrick gets you top 4. Right? Let's say Carrick gets you top 4.
Okay.
Some good performances. Obviously, you're gonna take some L's, you're gonna have some draws in there, whatever. But let's say he gets you top 4. Do you keep him? Do you keep him for the next season?
I think I said this 2 weeks ago when he came, when we beat City. I think by the time we get to the international break, he'll have managed, I think, 9 games, 10 games. And I think at that point, we should be able to have enough sample size to put him in contention with whoever else we have in contention. But no,
That's fair.
I don't think that it overreacts. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Ole game, I think we won 7 or 8 on the bounce.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, this is great. This is not,
The manager effect is real, man.
but
Yeah.
this is not the Ole situation. But to answer your question, yeah, I think after the international break, we should be able to see if he's going to be at least in the mix for
Yeah.
that we bring in. But today's game, I felt like went as perfectly as you could have dreamed it up for a United fan. Because
Yeah.
we got the 3 points, but that Kevin goal, bro, for a second, I was like, no, not going back down to this. And then, like, for us to get the 3 points, I mean, that's, I'm a big believer in, like, belief in the team, man. Like, that stuff gives you
Yeah.
life to you. We don't have any other games. You know what I'm saying? While other people are, losing players.
Gallivanting.
Yeah, bro. I mean, talk about when we were talking about Arsenal earlier. You said have the same energy for some of these other teams. I'll say this: Aston Villa, you guys are closer to us now. I feel like than you are to Arsenal. You're out of that Premier League title race. They're
Yeah.
done. They're absolutely done. And City,
You think so?
absolutely.
Yeah. Bro,
I
top
think
4.
so.
Until we will finish above Aston Villa this year. Just wait.
That top 4.
Spicy.
Wait,
I would say top 5. It's between United, Villa, Chelsea, City.
You're lucky they kept Amorim and we lost 10. We should have 10 more points than we did. This is lucky, bro. Aston Villa's done. We have our in-studio session coming up. I'll tell you the rest of mine. Aston Villa are out of the Premier League title race, I'm telling you. And if City slips up again like this, you're done too.
Listen, City plays Liverpool next week.
No, I'm telling you right now.
City plays Liverpool
Stop.
next week.
I'm telling you.
City plays Liverpool away next week, and I'm like,
Nah, bro.
mm,
They're this
Spicy
close.
matchup.
They're this close. No, it's not. And this is not reactionary. I just think, I mean, to get off of United and to just quickly touch on the City Hotspur game.
Yeah, no, let's get into it because we there now.
This is a massive opportunity you just lost. You were up 2-0.
bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what's crazy, Salam? We were watching this in the locker room before the match. Like we have a TV in the locker room, and bro, shout out Swan. Swan's a City fan, and like Omar's a Spurs fan. And I'm watching, and I'm just like, bro, City's up 2-0. I'm like, they're not coming back. They turn it on, and I'm like, my legs are up. I'm just like, just trying to get ready for the game, trying to relax. I turn over 2-1. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to lock in though. I'm trying to lock into the match because I have a match in a couple of minutes, and then I put my headphones on again. I turn over Solanke 2-2 again. I said, oh, so this is what we're on.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know what it is. Spurs is the kryptonite, bro.
They have their number, man.
Outside of the one time that Son should have scored the goal so we can win the trophy that year. But outside of that, they're the kryptonite.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And to your point, I forgot one of you guys said it too. This is a struggling side with Thomas Frank. I told someone, I told him, like, bro, I think he's not going to make it to the end of the season.
That was me, bro.
And like for you to lose against a struggling side like this,
they didn't lose. They drew. They drew.
Yeah, but
Drop points.
It feels like a
That's a
loss, though. It
loss.
feels like a loss.
They really drop points. Yeah.
yeah,
They
but
did.
now you have to be Arsenal. Whenever y'all play in March, whenever
It's
that is,
like
they
against
have to
in
beat
March,
you
yeah.
guys. Man, like
If they have any intentions of winning the league, yeah, they have to.
Sure.
one more slip
But-
up, bro. They're done. They are done.
But listen, I'm looking at because listen, just like how last week they gained points and we didn't. Look, City got 1 point. I'll give them that, but the other team dropped 3 points. So I
Yeah.
just feel like, City goes to Liverpool away. Liverpool's looking because you said it's between City for the top 5, bro. Liverpool's in 6th place lurking. They have 39 points. Like they're not far off the mark. So if they go get a result against City, bro, that just helps us even more. Like we played Sunderland at home. This is a GRG just from our get back from when we drew them away and they were flying. Like we should be beating the Sunderland team, So yeah, man, I just want the same energy, bro, because last week men's were United and yeah, United, like I said, United have this new manager effect. They're balling. Shout out to them. Like United for the like this moment, they're back. Like they're performing at a high level. I will give them that.
Yeah, this 3 wins. Yeah.
It's bro might be able to cut his hair, man. Bro might be able to cut his
hair, man.
You feel me? So obviously, this is a United team that's not weak. You know what I mean? Not in the current state. Like everyone is feeling good over there. So I don't know, man.
I mean, the league is Arsenal's to lose. I just think personally, I think you just can't lose 2 games in a row. You just can't do it. I think the way the league is set up right now, it's pretty tight. City is not the same City from a few years back when they won 12 in a row to win the league. It's not the same team. But if Arsenal gets too comfortable and lose 2 games, I think it will be tough for Arsenal to win the league from that standpoint. But as of right now, I think if they keep doing what they're doing, they'll win the league.
I think, and this may sound crazy, and we can transition after this because I know this may sound crazy. At least I don't think it's crazy.
You about to say something crazy?
No, I don't think it's crazy. I think.
What minute is this? Let's make sure we get the clip right now.
I'm telling you,
Joseph, this is one of them.
Yeah. Hey, bro, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Arsenal could very well win a treble this year. We're about to win one next week, right? Because you guys are about to.
It's possible.
It's
possible.
I think definitely between Carabao, Premier League, because the Premier League, bro, and this is no diss to like you guys, Gabriel, but the Premier League is weak this year. Everybody is weak. Look at City.
It's Rio Ferdinand.
Nah, it's really not disrespect to y'all, but I agree.
Last week, Salam was just telling me, no, I don't know it's on the 3rd. I don't agree with Rio. Those guys, and now he's saying the same exact.
No, I've been saying this all year.
No.
Have I not been saying this all year? The Premier League is weak this year. All the teams that we thought, remember, we thought Newcastle and Aston Villa were supposed to
yeah.
And now look at us here. But no, I think Premier League, you guys got that sorted out.
Okay.
Champions League, you are the best team statistically in Champions League. That's not a me just waffling. Look at the stats. Yeah. You've only
top of the table, yeah.
We looked at your stats the other day. You only conceded what? Less than 3 goals?
Yeah, I think he's conceded 2 goals, 21 and 2.
What?
Okay.
This is the best team, and then FA Cup. I mean, we already know the best teams in England. It's you guys in probably City or are you guys still
saying?
Yeah.
That's why if they walk away this season with nothing, it's gonna get awkward. I'm just saying.
Nah, bro, they're definitely gonna get Carabao Cup.
23 and 4.
Ones for sure.
I think
you gotta get one, at least one.
No, Mike. I said this in 2025. I will say it again in 2026. I need 2 minimum. If it's not 2 minimum,
wow, 2.
And I said I need a big one. I need a big trophy. I need Champions League, or I need Premier League, and I need an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup. You have to win at least one of each. bro. You have to. There's no excuses. There's none. There's absolutely no excuses.
Zero.
There's zero. So
I just
listen.
right.
I will stay true to my statement. I'm
Right.
accountable.
Yeah, I mean they're right where you guys are right where you need to be in every competition.
I
That's
believe so too.
I definitely don't. It's not out of the realm. We're looking back and we're saying, hey, these guys won a treble this year.
Listen, we're playing Carabao with Kepa right now. Kepa's our keeper in some of these competitions starting. You know, shout out Kepa, man. Been doing this thing.
Aretha Balaga.
Some man out there saying that the quadruple's still on. So
Hey.
I'm glad Gabriel's here being realistic.
Yeah, but I just said I need two. And I'm not even satisfied if we just win Carabao and FA. That's not enough. Nah. We need a major trophy. Yeah, for sure. So, I'm not saying we win a treble, but we need to minimum.
Yeah, I think this week Aston Villa and City, you know, they both missed a big opportunity to keep this race tight. Again, there's still 14 weeks, but I think Arsenal has gotten, you know, they've gotten the shivers out the way. I think they've gotten the little shivers out the way. These last few weeks have been a blip for them, I believe. But again, they got to stay the course because 14 weeks is a lot of weeks. Like Gabriel said, Saka just went out. This is one of your players that's been bringing you along the way the last 4 or 5 years while you've been in these title races. So it's just good to have that depth. But ultimately, I think experience is big too. So hopefully a speedy recovery for Saka. But you know, we started to talk about Champions League a little bit, and I just wanted to, you know, just touch on some of what happened last week in that final Wednesday. But before we talk about the matches that, you know, were pretty big last week, how do y'all feel about that format? You know, 8 games. This is the first time it's been done in this new format. Everyone plays on the last day like Super Sunday. But how did y'all feel about this group stage for the Champions League?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of games, man. But the format is okay. I just think that it's a lot harder to. The winner of this competition, I feel like, definitely gets a lot more praise. I feel like, just because of the amount of more games that they've had to play. But I mean, as a fan, like we're getting more soccer, but I don't know.
Yeah, we're getting more quality matchups, you could say that, but still, I don't think the old format was broken at all. So to me, I feel indifferent, really, but I would have just kept it. Yeah, the way it was fine to me. In my
honestly, I'm cool with the new format. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm reluctant to change, but I don't necessarily think it was a negative change. I just think it was just a change. I feel very like even keel about it. But the one like thing I don't like, bring back away goals. Bring back away goals. In a way, it was annoying, but in a way, it was lovely, bro.
Yes.
Because if a team has to get back, they have to get back twice. Because why are you doing this at home? Like I want to bring back away goals. But
you hate
that, the new format's cool.
Yeah, you hated to be on the other end of it, of away goals. But when you were on the winning side of away goals, it felt different. That's one thing I would definitely bring back. I don't think this new format was that significant for me to feel any difference, but I would bring back away goals. But this new format to me was it was okay, but I didn't think it was that significant enough for me to be like, oh, keep it or take it away.
Yeah, I think we're all in some way kind of still on we lean on the football purist side. So that was one thing I've always been a little upset that they took away was the away goals, because just like y'all, at home you should have the advantage. So if we're scoring against you, it should mean a little bit more. But you know, everyone gets a participation trophy these days. So, you know, it's the sport has been made easier. You know, I was a little upset with 3 subs going to 5, but at the end of the day, I think that's one of the changes in modern football is that
Made
That
sense.
I don't
Yeah, it makes
necessarily
sense.
That
you know,
made
the-
sense.
Yeah,
I
with the
like
amount
it
of games
nowadays,
that
yeah.
these cats are playing
Mhm.
now, I that was one that it took me a second, but once I sat down, I was
Mhm.
like, no, this one here makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, 5 subs is not even enough for some men. Look at Ruben Amorim. I watched that episode the other day. How are we out of subs? Can you imagine? We're out of subs. One game a week,
Crazy.
we're out of subs.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
you know it's crazy because
That's
honestly, there's a match recently where Arteta he made all 5 subs, and I was like, bro, what if someone's get injured? Like, I was actually nervous about it because just because you had that situation, I was like, bro, I'm not even
Yeah.
trying to deal with this. But yeah, I do like the 5 subs. I do think that's a modern day football thing where we need to have 5.
Yeah.
5.
Out of subs.
But yeah, man. So just some quick news in the Champions League. Bodo Glimt, crazy run to get into the top 24. So they were I don't remember exactly how many points they had, but they beat Man City and Atletico Madrid back to back and drew against Tottenham actually the week before or
That's
2 weeks
crazy.
ago in order to have a historic run to make it to the Champions League knockout stage. This is a club from a team that has 54,000 people. First time in the knockout rounds for them. So shout out to Bodo
Crazy.
Glimt, just a crazy run. They beat Atletico Madrid 2-1 2 weeks ago, and then they beat City 3-1 in order to get into that
That's
top
insane.
24.
They're
So-
flying, bro.
Flying, man. This is, Mike says it all the time, but these Champions League nights, bro, like
It's different.
it's nothing like them
Listen,
Champions League nights. For
you
real.
hear that
You
music
really
and
get up
you-
It's
for
different.
it. Like you really get up for it. So, for this team to do it both home and away, I think it's just showing that at this point, this is a team nobody wants to see. They've beaten City, who have won the Champions League. They've beaten Atletico Madrid, who have gotten very far in the Champions League. This is a top 3 team in La Liga. So this is a team that clearly is playing, out of their minds right now. But yeah, just wanted to shout out Bodo Glimt a little bit. In the same breath of, market making history, Malik Tillman becomes the only international from U.S. to score 2 goals in a Champions League game, and he's done it twice. He did it versus Villarreal last week, and then he also did it against Shakhtar November 2024. I kind of just wanted to bring that up just because the U.S. is looking for strikers. And we've been talking about it. Obviously, we won't get into that big conversation right now, but who's going to be our 9? Who's going to be the wingers for this U.S. men's national team? Pepe apparently just got a move from PSV to now the Premier League. So, these guys are going to be put on a world stage, and I want to see who's been, eating their Wheaties. You know what I'm saying? I want to see who's been eating their Wheaties, who feels like they're good enough to start for us right now. And for me, that means, can you score in a big game? Can you score on the world stage? Can you be consistent through your club level? So I'm looking at all these cats. Malik Tillman, shout out to you for what you've done, but can you keep this consistency through the end of the year?
I'll tell you one thing. Balogun will be there.
And he's not even having the greatest year, though. He's coming off his injury.
I'll tell you that right now.
He'll be there.
I know Tim Weah will be there.
He
too.
should. Yeah.
He should.
Right,
No,
he
yeah.
should.
And no disrespect to Balogun, because I fully expect him to be on the team, but he's not having the greatest year.
No.
He had the injury, and then ever since he's been back, he hasn't been scoring at the clip that I think we all would like him to. So, yes, I think his spot is guaranteed on the team, but as a starter, who knows? Who knows?
It's gonna be one of the brothers, man. It's gonna be Balogun,
Haji
or Ajuman. But
Ajuman's doing all right too.
Yeah, he's doing all right too. So I think it's gonna go down to one of those two. If Ricardo Pepi can, because he broke his arm, so he has arm injury. So if he's able to, continue the form that got him this move to the Premiership, I think that he'll definitely be in the mix. But I don't know, bro. I think those European guys are all sorted. I think for me, I'm more curious to see like what the quote supplemental players look like. The guys that are in the front, the fringe, the Christian Roldans, even though I think he should make it. Greg Berhalter, obviously McKinney, Adams, but
McKinney's gonna go. There's no way McKinney doesn't go.
And he's on fire right
He's
now.
locked.
So.
That would be crazy if he doesn't.
If he doesn't start,
then I question Poch. Like, all right, what do you?
But there's some guys though that also too. Like, I was thinking about this today. Like, there's some guys that I know we think should probably go, but like a guy like Diego Luna, I'm not sure if he's going to go because Brendan Aronson's been balling. You're not starting over Pulisic, so like, shit, bro, it might be slow for you. But,
I mean, I think we could probably all name an 11 right now, but like
that
that 12
different.
to 25, that literally could be any toss up. So for me, it's who's going to be consistent from here on out. These MLS guys, who's going to come March, April, May, and be hooping, right before the World Cup, because this is big for you. You're competing against guys who've had a whole 5 months ahead of you to get, going. So, so yeah, that's just kind of what I've been looking at. But wanted to shout out Malik Tillman a little bit. And then last Champions League thing, but Jose Mourinho, he's done it again. He's done it again.
Jose.
This is a tweet from one of the Mourinho fan pages, but it says Jose insane European group stages record continues. It's now 24 different European group phase campaigns in his career in all 3 European competitions, that is Champions League, Europa League, and the newly most recent Conference League. All different kinds of clubs and contexts, his team has gone through and made it to the knockout phase of every single European competition that he's been a manager for. So 24 out of 24 is insane. And for, him to do it with Benfica, a last-minute goal from the goalie off a free kick after Real Madrid got, a red card. For them to see Madrid again in the knockout stages, this is kind of, the script writers be making some scripts sometimes. This one is one of those. So,
but Benfica fans, lower your expectations.
Facts.
I'm sorry for the next game. Just lower your expectations, because you might be punching above your weight class. But but what a story though. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, man. But that's about it. That's all I got. Anything y'all wanted to bring up before we get into?
How did we look on locks? I know my lock hit Chelsea money line.
I have Villa.
Oh, you have Villa money line.
Sad. Go on. Sad.
What you mean?
Oh, no. Wait, you lock hit.
Yeah. You're lock hit too.
Yeah, lock hit. Yeah, no, my lock hit too. We're 3 for 1.
I think it was only Cornelius.
I had over 2.5 in the Arsenal game. So, 3 for 1, boys. Great week.
Yeah, my backup lock was going to be both teams to score in the Chelsea Villa, the West Ham game.
That was clear.
Yeah.
That's a clear one. Chelsea's bound to get scoring. Badger Shield was starting.
Oh, I do want to ask you guys real quick, Chelsea guys, before we get into predictions or shoutouts. The Mamadou Sarr is going back to you guys from Strasbourg.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be, coming in to reinforce the back line. He definitely had a good showing in AFCON, and I guess at Strasbourg this season. Do you think he's someone who walks into the team?
Yeah. Should have never left to begin with.
Yeah,
I wasn't happy he was going on loan. We saw him in the Club World Cup, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna go on loan." I wasn't happy with that. I know probably Maresca wasn't happy with that because he wanted a center back, and that's one of the reasons some parts of this relationship disintegrated, because he felt like him wanting a center back was justified because Levi Colwill went down. But I think it's a great move. It's I understand that we want to sign young guys and then take them out on loan so they can develop and all of that. But this is one that we need right now, and I'm glad they've made that decision.
Yeah, to piggyback off Mike, this is a guy who played for Senegal 120 minutes against Morocco in that win. And then, he also played 67 minutes against Egypt in that win. So this is a guy who was playing, big, big minutes in the big games. He's very young, but he's good. Clearly the talent is there. And from what I've been reading, William Rosenior really, 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 was attracted to this guy when he was at Strasbourg and really kind of put his arms around him. So I already know that the relationship between those two is great.
It's there,
Like
yeah.
Mike said, we have players that are starting now that don't need to be there at all.
No.
So the fact that we're actually bringing him in, we'll see what it does to our back, because I haven't been convinced that a manager can clean up the issues that we have in the back yet, whether it be Maresca or Poch, Potter, Frank Lampard. You can name the gambit. So we'll see, but I think this is a big bring back for us for sure.
Yeah.
Fair.
Predictions.
Predictions.
Ooh,
Damn,
yeah,
now
Chelsea.
we got-
Oh, well, you got Chelsea in midweek. Listen, y'all not going through. I'm just letting y'all know that. You can put some cheese on it if you want to, but y'all not going through. Y'all not going through.
Hey, that's fair.
Because
I-
Mike, at the end of the day, you have to score 2 goals to beat us in regulation. You have to beat us by 2 goals to beat us in regulation, and I don't. You're not beating us in extra time at the Emirates. I don't see it. So
I have a good feeling about this one.
Yeah, I feel a result.
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie.
okay.
I think PKs get it. We get a result. Take it to PKs. It's
I don't even think
anybody's.
we're gonna get a
And
result.
if we take it to PKs, we're winning.
With
And I think that's what's going to happen.
with
I'm
Sanchez,
gonna say this right now,
Yeah.
because it was good to see Cole Palmer play the full match. I didn't think he would.
Is he
I still
finally
don't
gonna
think-
play? Is he gonna stop ducking?
I don't.
No,
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna say, and I still don't think he's up to snuff yet. I don't even think.
Nah, you can tell. You could tell.
But with all that being said, if we start 3 players, I'll tell you if we're gonna win that match. If we start Reece James, if we start Esteval, and if we start Cole Palmer, I see a result. Those 3 players have to start. They have to start. That's been my only thing. Like we really haven't seen our best 11 all at the same time yet. Am I fully
Yeah.
But if those 3 players start, including Caicedo, because we obviously know about Caicedo, but if those 4 are on the pitch at the
Listen,
beginning of the game, we get a result.
Sure. Sure. Whatever y'all say. We're going through to the final. I'll tell you that right now. And then on the weekend we have Sunderland at home. It's another week, 6 points. I expect 6 points. Honestly, and I don't even need 6 points. I just need to go through in the cup. That's all I need. On the weekend, 3 points for sure. Up the goal differential.
Well, we have Wolves on the weekend. We have to go to the Wolves. Wolves money line, guys. Wolves money line. Chelsea money line. I'm sorry.
Wow.
yeah,
That might be a trap. You might take an L to us and then see Wolves and
Yeah, Wolves will be 3 points as well. So
Yeah.
who do y'all see?
we see Tottenham Hotspur, man. I'm predicting a favorable February. Shout out to Black History Month.
Black History Month. Shout out to
man.
brothers.
We got Tottenham this week, West Ham after that, and then Everton to close out February. This is a Tottenham side that's been struggling. I know they just got points off of Man City, which was unexpected, especially considering that they were 2-0 down. But this is a vulnerable team, and they've been struggling. And from the past 3 games, Cornelius, now I understand how you were feeling before the season started. Talking about we're a top 3 team in the world. I don't know if there's anyone that can beat us. That's how I feel. I feel like we're going to get 3 points. against this Tottenham Hotspur side. And yeah, two North London teams. It's a London team in the past 2 weeks.
It's a London turn.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay. Watch, these guys are gonna go drop points to.
Yeah, I know, right?
London's gonna be cool, man. Tottenham, we already had y'all, and then Chelsea. Oh, I can't wait till we play Chelsea. Oh my god, yeah.
We're gonna tell Joseph to clip this, so then when they lose or when they draw,
Yeah.
I just want to splice right in between.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
yeah. Keep starting Badia Shield Fofana and see what I'm adding.
Man, we haven't seen this Salam in time, guys. This is Salam companies. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Back, y'all.
Wait, Salam. Hold on, I have the perfect sound for this. What's it called? Shoutouts. Sorry.
Shoutouts. My shoutout will be real quick. Shout out to Nani Madueke, man. Honestly, I want to give him a shout out just because put in a tough position, very influential for us, and he's gonna need to step up. So I just hope he has the confidence to step up in the role that I think he can step up in. That's it.
My shout out is to Liam Rossini and the Chelsea Blues. 5 wins in the last 6 games. Head into Arsenal, head into the Emirates. I know you're gonna make it a special week. We're at a point in the season where looking pretty doesn't matter to me. It's about getting results, and he's getting results. This week, the biggest results will happen at the Emirates, and I'm looking forward to that. So shout out to the Blues. Let's make it, 6 out of 7.
That's a good one, man. I got 2 shout outs this week. One is a coach, and not a lot of people have been talking about him, but Pellegrino Matarazzo. He is the coach of Real Sociedad. He's from New Jersey. He's the first American coach to ever coach a club in La Liga. He just beat Barcelona a few weeks ago to knock off their 11-game win streak. He won 3 of his last 4 in La Liga, was actually voted manager of the month in January. He's got them back up to 10th place after they were in a relegation battle in the beginning of the season. So, this is another one that I didn't really know about, kind of just came across my radar here in the past couple of weeks. And so I've kind of been peeping, the scores on these Sociedad games. 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5, including a win against Barca and a 1-1 draw with Atleti. So this American manager, he got something cooking over there in Sociedad. So just want to say shout out to him. Again, his name is Pellegrino Matarazzo. And then my second shout out is to Crystal Dunn. She just announced her retirement from professional football, man. Like Salam said, in honor of Black History Month, let's get it started with one of the OGs. 160 appearances for the U.S. women's national team, 25 goals. She won the Women's World Cup with them and was also a U20 champion, Olympics gold medalist. That's just what she did on the U.S. among a lot of other accolades. But, in her club career and in her, solo career, she was the Mac Herman Trophy winner in 2012. She came to the MLS, won the NWSL Championship and NWSL Shield with the North Carolina Courage in 2018 and 2019. Won a treble with the Portland Thorns in 2021, winning an International Cup, the Shield, and the Challenge Cup. And then, like I said, with the U.S. women's national team, she's done the whole gambit. But shout out to Crystal Dunn on, just a great career, and illustrious career. She was one of the, and people forget, she started as a striker. They converted her to a left back, when they needed her to be a left back. And then she kind of just stuck with that through, the latter half of her career. But she's a player who could she's just so fast. She was up and down the wings. She was able to score, but also able to defend. A legend in the game in her own right. So shout out Crystal Dunn. Congrats on a very, very marvelous career. And, whatever you do in your future, we're all rooting for you, Shawty.
That's a good one. I also got 2. I'll keep them quick. My first shout out is going to go to Alex Freeman, former Orlando City player. That's getting a move to Villarreal. That's a huge move. Another player from the U.S. men's national team getting a move abroad to not just a European team, but a European team that's top 4 right now in La Liga. This is a good Villarreal side. So I think his skill set is going to translate very well to La Liga. I think it's only going to help him develop as a player. And, we need guys like this to go out there and play on these teams. And it's a good look for the MLS, man. This is a homegrown player. He's from the academy. So, this is a good example, to have, for the club. So shout out to him. And then my second one's going to go to Ademola Lookman. He just got his move to Atletico Madrid. This is a guy I felt like at Atalanta had a lot of run-ins with the manager, a lot of back and forths. I felt like never really was appreciated for the player he was. This was, I think, the 2 years ago was African Player of the Year. And for him to be getting an upgrade, that's for sure. Going to Atletico Madrid, one of the best teams in Europe, definitely one of the best teams in Spain, is a good look for him, man. This is one of the best players in Africa, and I feel like this move kind of gives him like the respect that I feel like he deserves.
Yeah.
And Julian Alvarez, that's a good duo.
Yeah.
Who knows if Julian stays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the deadline closes what, in a couple of hours?
No, he'll stay for right now, but who knows if he stays past this season?
Oh, okay.
I know you guys are in for him, but hey, bro, that's $100 million for him. I feel like is not even. So what? We paid $100 million for Enzo, so $100 million for Julian Alvarez. I would do it.
So
Now, Salam, it's funny that you bring that up because I had him on my list as just players, but what was also interesting is you're seeing a lot of transfers from the USL, the MLS to Europe and vice versa. This week it was also told by Fabrizio that Ajax just got the Martin Payes, who was the FC Dallas keeper. Timo is now coming over to the Earthquakes. So we've seen a lot of transfer back and forth between the MLS, the USL, and various leagues across Europe. From Atleti to the Championship to Turkey to all across the Big Five. So it's kind of been crazy to see that this week. Just a lot of names going back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah, there's a lot, man. It's crazy. Time is moving by. MLS is about to start, and WSL is about to start. The Premier League is, get into the latter part of the season, and then World Cup this summer, man. This is going to be a marathon.
Football moves fast.
Yeah.
It moves fast.
It's going to be a good 2026, man. A lot of football this year. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, we appreciate your guys' continued support. And until next time, peace.